right. Well, welcome to the third official ride. This is the 1987 Harley FXRC Special Edition, maybe, possibly counterfeit. And we're here in Narragansett, Rhode Island. It is 30 out, so I am dressed up like the kid from the Christmas Story in like just a ton of gear. Should have downshifted. Getting familiar with the bike, so apologies. Used to sort of a different power band and definitely different brakes. This bike also has really late clutch engagement, which is kind of, I don't want to say unsettling, but just a little different. So something to make an adjustment, but the bike has been amazing so far. I've only gotten a rider, you know, we're looking at 45 miles. That seems high. I did a previous ride and took a video. It came out shitty because I didn't have stabilization on. That's bright. Anyway, we are headed down to the ocean. So anyway, I took another video. It came out terrible. Off center. Really jumpy. Not that this one will necessarily be better, but maybe it'll at least be postable footage. And on that ride, maybe I'll post a clip, I cruised through a stop sign. It's January, and so people are probably like, hey, we thought we were done with the motorcycles cruising through our neighborhoods, and here's this guy. Ooh, wow. I gave that a decent amount of pressure, and the bike didn't want to stop. So not on purpose, but just based on the fact that I'm used to my Road Kings double front disc brakes with EBC double sintered pads and nice discs and all that sort of stuff, whereas this is definitely a different experience. You are gonna have to downshift and get assistance from the engine and trans to slow down in, you know, higher speed scenarios. So just getting used to the bike. Probably going to do some safety upgrades, minor stuff, but the plan for the bike is to keep it relatively original so that people can enjoy the beach, which we're about to arrive at. Enjoy some beach cruises in 80s style, which in this case means, you know, 35mm forks, single front disc, you know, but a great frame and a torquey engine. I mean, this thing is really impressive. I have a hopped up twin cam 88 with a Reaper 525 cam and a Mikuni carb and, you know, jetting and the airbox, exhaust, the whole nine. And this thing off the line feels like it has more. I mean, it's more feel, and it's probably gears more than it is actual engine power. But like, that's most of the fun of things, is actual feel versus, you know, lap times and stuff like that, or at least in, you know, this sort of situation. So I get the beach. Some surfers out, even though it's 30. Oop. Let's lug it for a little bit. So this is Narragansett. Coast Guard House, fun restaurant. And you got this oceanfront drive with all the mansion-y houses over here, well, some of them, and some boutique hotels and whatnot. But it's January, so not a lot of people around. Thankfully it's sunny today, so when you're in the sun, it's not actually too terrible. But man, you feel that, you know, feel the cold. I got everything I could think of from warm weather gear on. And I should have brought some hot hands pads, but I didn't think I'd be out very, very long. This bike sounds great. I mean, we're doing nothing. We're doing 20 miles per hour. And the rider experience, it is pretty awesome. It's funny because it's, when I first bought the bike, we started up in a garage, and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be too loud for my neighborhood. I'm going to have to put some baffles and some fiberglass in. But once I got it outside, not really the case. Some more mansions over there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It sounds good, nice torque. But oh, probably shouldn't do that with the Audi right there. He's gonna think I'm in a motorcycle gang, that I'm Jax Teller, out to commit murders, when really I'm closer to the guy on the dentist glide, tooling around the smallest state in the country. So, anywho, I'm going to take you down to some more ocean views. This is a nice ride on a bicycle or a motorcycle. Some great restaurants. Usually a lot of bikes too, just cruising up and down this long strip that goes down to the bottom of the peninsula. And then there's a lighthouse. But yeah, getting back to it, the plan is to keep this bike relatively original, so people can experience that with maybe a touch of added stopping power, just because, you know, going faster is one thing, but you'd like to have the option to get yourself out of trouble if you're not the most experienced, or if you're coming off a different bike that actually can stop on a dime, which is not the case with this at the moment. All these curves, oh my god, I'm like lugging it. Slow down and downshift in the turn, in the apex. I mean, it's a great sound for 30 miles per hour. Yeah, the gearing has definitely got to be different, because I think I'm 3 gears in at 30 miles per hour. So I've been on the highway with this thing. I didn't feel like I was running out of steam or out of gear at 55, 60. I mean, obviously these things were meant to do it. It's not like my old van, which there wasn't really highways or 65, 70 mile per hour limits. when it was around. So I don't know, just a lot of fun, fast gearing, looks great, definitely lives up to the oh, what do we got here? Just some dirt. Definitely lives up to the hype or the legend when it comes to handling. You just feel very, I don't know, I don't want to say tossable, which is, you know, what people will say, but compared to the Road King and some other bikes that I've been on, you know, it definitely moves and goes into the corners nice, if we could find a corner. Coming up on some more beach areas. You can walk out there, get onto the beach for free, all the dunes. But then the main beach is over here. Guess we could pass this outing. Nice beach here. So anyway, I'm hoping people will enjoy this bike. It was a trip to go get it. It was 500 plus miles, you know, in total round trip distance in Cobleskill, New York, which is like 30 minutes west of Albany. And the only day that was weather appropriate for my old van was on New Year's Eve. So it was a bit of a journey, a lot of rain, but at least it was like in the 40s, whereas I think the next day it was down into the 20s, ice and snow, which not exactly appropriate weather for the van. It is cold. Hopefully we won't lose my hands. Oop, little hiccup there. Gas gauge on this is, well, it's steady now. Bounces a bunch at times. And I don't think I've used up that much gas in 50-some miles. Well, actually, it's plus a bit, but it is what it is. Not really worried about gas mileage. Little trans brake. So anyway, the plan is rent this on Twisted Road. If the rent's great, then and people like it, then we'll keep it. And if not, then probably one of the two bikes, either this or 2001 Road King, will get sold, because at the end of the day, I'm one person and there's two motorcycles. I really like the Road King. I put a a fair amount of work into it, not necessarily money. I don't do any touring, or haven't yet, just because of the family situation. We rescued a dog, and that can't come on the bike, and so then the wife doesn't really want to go on long rides. And I'll do some solo stuff, but you know, we've barely left the state, partly because of COVID, and it's a small state. It's 45 minutes to get out of the state if you were hustling. So all right, gonna come up on a nice area. So this bike probably suits me better from a usage standpoint. Got the lighthouse here. We got ice. Now they closed this down because there's erosion. This used to be a great spot to go to, but now there's like a cliff that's collapsing. So they shut it down because it's privately owned. It's not owned by the town, the state, anything like that. And supposedly the owners, or the trust, is worried about the liability of all the Instagrammers falling off the cliff, which I guarantee has happened. And plus there's surfers. That's an awesome place to go watch sunsets. But so I digress. Hopefully they'll come to some sort of agreement. It's funny because after visiting California and Oregon, I messed that up. Yeah, they've got eroded cliffs all over the place, and you know, they don't even bother putting up signs because you should know better than to fall off a cliff. But here in the Northeast, it becomes a, you know, a destination, and so a little bit different situation. We'll scoot down through this. Yeah, we'll just head back. Take a pause off to the right. Here's where you get your lunch and your ice cream. And Ocean 1230 over there is where you get hammered. Go listen to some live bands. My wife's family has a house near here. Actually, let's go over there. Enjoy the view. So anyway, fun area to go hang out. Good eats, good drinks. Even more fun on a bike.